and welcome to SPADS episode 26. We've got the usual crew, but we're joined by some extra members this week. Just to give you a context, on our right-hand side, so your left, we've got Mr. John Daly, fan of the pod, Arsenal fan. John, how are we?
Great, thank you.
Thanks for coming on after Arsenal listening recently, but we'll come on to that a little bit later on. But I appreciate you coming on to give us Arsenal views. A mate of Dangerous's, so I look forward to you
say that
two.
a bit loosely.
yeah.
No one's my mate.
I look forward to you too. And we got Malcolm, Newcastle fan, friend of Kev. Malcolm, it's just topical that we've got. You know, we just need a City fan, really. We haven't got a City fan.
Well, I haven't got any fans.
There isn't that many around there.
That's why.
We can't start off without saying that obviously City this week crowned champions by proxy. It was Arsenal that dropped the result to have them win the title. Let's just go. They've won the last 12 on the bounce, boys. Really, how good have City been this season?
Awesome. Yeah, well, especially the last 12 games, they've been amazing. Start of the season, they were
Same
average.
as normal, personally. No different. Every year. Pep, let's do it. Let's do it.
But they started off not so, because obviously we did a pod a few weeks ago.
He said about
ago.
Haaland saying he's a problem.
Oh, he's changed the side. I mean, that proves how much fucking we know, which is not a lot.
It's
but
mad.
It's I mean, they've just, like you say, Dave, they've won the last 12 on the bounce. They've won 14 in the last 15 games. They haven't lost since the 5th of February to Spurs. I mean, it's
They lost to Spurs.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's just, and they drew to Forest as well. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
just,
when it blew up. When you lose to Spurs, you're like, okay, boys, we need to wake up, pull our fingers out.
and that's they've just been
The best team in North
they
London.
just
You know what
been-
the thing is, though? When they've played, only 2 of their players are the ones that are like on it that day. The others are like just doing all right.
When you got a squad like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's mad. That's all they need.
Wow.
Is 2 of their players just to be on it, and that's it. And then like you get Bernardo Silva in the Champions League, who's played a bit part, and then comes in and just goes, "Yeah, by the way, I'm still here. Everyone, you know, it's mad."
That's what happens when you got 2 world-class squads.
Yeah, it
You
is.
can
It's
swap
just
on that.
incredible.
Doesn't matter. That's all you need is 2 decent
Yeah,
Yeah,
players
but to
on
be
board.
fair, they've got the best manager in the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know I'm here with a lot of United fans, but I'd probably say he's better than Fergie.
He's getting there. I don't think he's there yet.
If they do this treble,
Do you know what?
I think he's better than Fergie. Like,
I think it's hard to compare. It's a bit like boxing when everyone says, "Oh, you know, Tyson would beat Ali."
That's the
Do you know
only-
what?
that's
It
the
doesn't
only
have
thing,
to.
innit?
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a best. You can just say.
Well, it's
But
like
I
Messi
agree with you.
Ronaldo.
I definitely think
Currently-
you know, I definitely think he's been fantastic.
there's not another manager that touches him at the moment.
No, and we'll go on to that as well. And I've put Pep, how good, question mark. I've put here as a serial winner in terms of what he's done. And you're right, John, in terms of what every single club he's gone to, he's just done.
The only thing I would say, every club he's gone to had money, had
Sure.
power.
Yeah.
He's never
That's
done
exactly
it
that.
Yeah.
on, say, let's take Stoke
Yeah.
from the
Do
bottom
you
of
know
the
what-
league.
do you know what
You
I'm
know what I
saying?
mean?
Let's
Or
see him at
Newcastle
Stoke.
from the bottom.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That's Eddie Howe. Eddie
That's
Howe's
what
job.
you're leading to, weren't
No. But Pep's always had the teams sort of ready.
But
Yeah,
didn't
Barcelona
win,
was ready with
didn't
Messi.
do it at
and-
Bayern Munich, though, did he?
but
Well, he done all right.
Yeah, but he didn't win the Champions League, though.
No, he didn't win the
Yeah, that's
Champions
a
League.
But he's not won it at
Completely
City yet, has he?
Exactly.
Completely.
I mean, he's still great. Don't get me wrong.
Well, just
saying. Let's calm down.
Let me give you the rundown
You know.
of trophies that he has won before we come back on City in a minute. Okay, so he's won 2 times World Best Coach, both in 2008, 2009. He's won 2 Champions League. Barcelona, obviously could be 3 this year, they're in the final. He's won 5 FIFA Club World Cups, Barcelona and Bayern Munich. He's won 5 Premier League titles, obviously 3 in a row now. He's won 3 Bundesligas, Bayern 3 in a row.
How has he won 3 FIFA Club World Cup?
5. No, 3.
How? Because obviously you...
Barcelona and Bayern Munich.
But he didn't win the Champions League at the Bayern Munich.
Yeah, so he must have...
Yeah, it must have been at
You got
Barcelona.
something wrong there.
controversial.
Yeah.
He didn't win the Champions League at Barcelona.
No.
At
As
Bayern
we-
Munich.
As we
Who's the
say...
other, yeah, but who's the other person that goes into the?
But it's always, isn't it? Always the...
Oh, no,
winner.
do you know
Champions
what it
League
is?
take over as
No, do
manager.
you know what it is? Because when he took over at Bayern Munich, Hansi Flick, or whoever it was, had won the treble
Okay.
before, so that's
So
why
how do you want to deliver the apology? Do you
Yeah,
want it
so
like
go on,
written
Dave.
Sorry,
or,
Kev,
it's
You were right.
Sorry, Kev, I got you out of there, mate. I had to remember then.
yeah, so he won 3 La Ligas, obviously 3 in a row at the end. He's won 3 UEFA Super Cups. He's won 2 German Cups, 1 FA Cup. Obviously, could be a second this year.
Yeah.
2 Spanish Copa del Reys, 4 League Cups, 2 Spanish Super Cups, and 2 big trophies, the Charity Shield Day.
Massive trophy.
I mean, it is
Shield.
a hell of a resume. The only thing I put at the bottom here, it'd be interesting when you boys think, how long does he stay for? What left has he got to prove?
Not long.
I've always said Champions League is gone.
Well, every time he's won 3 titles in a row, he's then left.
I reckon a couple of years.
I reckon he's going to hit 10 years and then go. He's
10?
He's there for 7 years already.
Yeah.
So I reckon he's going to round it up to 10 and then be like, see you later.
I'm going to reckon whenever they give him a new contract, he'll want a bit more money. Then someone else will jump in. If Barca get their money back, he'll go back there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
he'll
he'll go
finish
back
at
to
Barca.
Or will he go to PSG? Because
No, I think Barca.
They want-
I think he'll finish where he started. It's like his home. It's his love. And you could see him and Messi being together one time. I can see it now.
Yeah, it's interesting. But has he got that hunger, do you think, if he comes back again? Now, if he wins the Champions League this year, he gets the treble, gets the 3
Do
Premier
you not
Leagues
think
in a
he'd
row.
want 2 Champions Leagues at City? I don't think one would be enough. I think it'd be 2 years. I think it'd be.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's been harder enough to get one.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny now. That team that he's got now is just.
immense.
Yeah, it's just. The squad. I mean, before they've had good teams, but he's always had to go out and buy a defender. I mean, what do they need to buy now?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, the only thing they're going to be doing is probably, if a couple of their older players go, is replenish them. But before, there's always been, I need that defender, I need that striker. Well, they've got that now, and
Probably going to need some more defensive players because you think Cancelo's going, Walker's getting older. They haven't got that much.
Was it Laporte that was crying the other day, and either one that's meant to be going?
Yeah.
I think it's supporting it
Yeah.
because back to Spain or somewhere like that. I think, but yeah, I reckon a couple of years. I don't want them to win the Champions League this year, but I just think they're going to smash.
Well, what was it? I think 2012 or something like that? No team has won the Champions League without a Croatian player in it.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a
Wow.
random stat.
Where the fucking hell did that come from?
I'm done.
City haven't got a Croatian player in their team.
Inter have.
Wow.
There is
There you
no
go.
way.
You've heard it here first.
There is no
Lump
way.
it on
Fingers
here.
crossed, Dave.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, I think it's
So next week,
2012.
when's the Champions League, and when we're going to get you to why you got it wrong?
Well, I'm just saying.
That is an incredible stat. Where did you get it from, Dave?
My mind. I know it. Modric's.
It's been on Google.
If you're wondering,
Put me out
What's
on
Google?
fucking
It's only
internet.
Pornhub.
if you're wondering out of all of us who likes a bet, it's Dave. We're looking at random odds.
And he normally bets against Liverpool,
yeah,
his
you
own
normally
team.
come out with. Where did you get that stat from?
I just saw it.
Oh yeah, where?
Yeah, but where? That's the point.
I saw it
In a comic strip or what?
on Facebook or something like that. Someone, it was just like something on the football thing just came
No,
up.
to be fair to Pope, he's not the great speller. So when he was Googling Arsenal stats, he put in the wrong
come out.
thing. And he that'll do.
Yeah, so obviously they've been so dominant this season. City. I've got here as well. Last season, their top scorer was Kevin De Bruyne with 15 goals for the whole season, which is crazy, really. I would have thought. I don't know. For some reason, I just expect someone.
They've always spread them about, haven't they?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, but obviously Haaland this
Not
season.
so much this year. It's been Haaland, isn't it?
Yeah, Haaland's got 36 so far this season,
Shit.
which makes our podcast where we were saying like, City have had to change the way
But I
they
think,
play.
to
with
be
the
fair,
Haaland.
what we said when we were saying it, we never said he was a bad player, but at the time it seemed like they were trying to fit him in. And obviously now Jack Grealish is in the form of his life,
Yeah.
and the runs that De Bruyne finds for Haaland is just. Yeah, I hate it.
But like you say, you only need 1 or 2 of their world-class players to turn up.
All that happens,
And the
doesn't
other
it?
good players will play
Yeah,
good.
it's just
And
all
if
that
they've
Got
And
a
if
World
they're not,
Cup
they've got
winner
5
sitting on the
subs.
bench every week.
You've got-
Alvarez
How many
comes on,
times have you seen
score
De
a goal.
Bruyne just run a game? Everyone else
Yeah, but
has
you've
been
got
sort
John
of
Stones
stand.
playing like attacking midfielder. He's like, Pep's like, no, don't worry about defending, mate. You got their next thing, John Stones, and you're like,
Bagging in
this is the
worldies.
player that no one was like saying that he's like he shouldn't be there, and then suddenly he's like their main defender, and suddenly he's the main tacker.
He's the City's Phil Jones.
No, that's
Filled, yeah.
One thing I'll be interested to hear. Obviously, I put here is the Premier League now just about the top 4 and not the champions. Are City now so dominant that every season? I mean, if you're going to sit here now and say pick the champions for next season, you're probably going to pick City.
yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah.
You would.
I would actually say Arsenal aren't far off.
Really?
Yeah.
If they
As an
recruit well.
outsider watching them go head to head, let's say,
Yeah.
they just fell short, Arsenal, because of the squad.
Yeah,
They get 3 or 4, maybe 5 good signings.
they have to spend a
But
lot
do you
of
think?
money.
Do you think cup runs, Champions League, and the league.
Yeah, but
do you still think they'll be able to keep up next season?
They've got to do it, ain't they?
Yeah.
They ain't going to be able to. Are they going to spend 200 million?
They
I think we will. I think we will.
They will be tired like Liverpool.
Yeah, that was my line later. I was going to save that one for later.
They will be tired.
But yeah,
They will
Why
be
not? Why
tired.
can't they? They just got second in the league. They're in the Champions League. They've got their stadium. They've got.
But do you
the
not
sport
think
back.
sometimes
We've got to
that's
look at who's available for them to buy as well.
Well, Rice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much done. But are we talking about Arsenal now? Because
yeah.
we've got some Man City.
We
stuff.
did.
bit of everything.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just like-
before we'll go into Arsenal in a second, what I was going to say is about comparing. You're probably right, Malcolm, in terms of the stats, and the stats suggest that they're not that far away. So the City stats so far this season in the Premier League, only forgetting everything else, they've played obviously 36. They've won 28, lost 4, goals for 93, goals conceded 31. Interesting part, I suppose, the difference is the passes they've done this season. They've done 23,830 passes this season, which is an average of 661.94 passes per
662.
Did you see the stats for the passing in the Real Madrid game? Like it was just, it was
But comparing that to Arsenal, so Arsenal are the next ones with the highest amount of passes. They did 19,994 passes, so that's 540 passes per game. So Man City are averaging 120 passes more on average per game than Arsenal. Passing accuracy is about the same. The difference is the goals per game. City are getting 2.5 and Arsenal getting 2.24. But yeah, so you're right. The stats show there that they're not that much different in terms of that. And I suppose the league table shows that.
It's just injuries that buggered us.
And Rob Holding.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have, I mean, when I chatted to you guys before, I said about Rob Holding, Eddie Nketiah. They're just not the likes of
good enough,
Mahrez coming on, or like you say, John Stones has now gone into midfield. Man City is so well run from like top to bottom, not just on the pitch, it's off the pitch as well.
Yeah.
And their transfers coming in. When Arsenal buy a transfer, it's like, are they going to hit or are they going to miss?
Yeah.
And you get it with a lot of clubs. You get United, Newcastle with Gordon coming in. Yeah. That raised a few eyebrows. You think, what are you thinking? But with Man City, you're just like, I trust you.
You don't even know
Whatever
they're
player's
coming,
coming
do
in.
you?
No,
like,
they're just in.
every other team is
It
linked.
doesn't matter anyway, though. Does it really? 'Cause no Pep's going to sort them out anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of many Man City signings in the last 5-6 seasons that haven't
Not
hit.
since Pep's been there.
Yeah.
Before they would buy, like you thought, okay, fair enough, they're buying them, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But Pep will go. And let's be honest, they've always said if a player turns around and says we don't want to play, I want to leave. All right, let's see that. Like anyone can go. It doesn't matter.
Jesus and Zinchenko.
Yeah.
They were focal points for them last season.
And fair play to them. They wanted to go. And they wanted to play, but it don't matter. Even the left back, was it Cancelo?
Yeah.
Obviously, I know he's going out on loan, but he was like, I
That
want
was
to
a
play.
fallout, though, wasn't it? But that just
Yeah,
proves
but it's because he wanted to play, didn't he?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he just
just
said, if you want to go, go on then.
Yeah, but it all stemmed with Joe Hart, didn't it? Because he was England's number one.
Yeah.
And he was like, you ain't good enough, get out.
Yeah.
And then they tried getting Bravo and he goes, you're not good enough, get out.
Yeah.
He's really cutthroat.
Yeah.
On the other side, like you say, if Bernardo Silva or someone says to him, look, I've done it now, I've completed the Premier League, I want to move on, he would be like, he'd honour it and say, you know what, off you go.
We get the
Enjoy
money.
yourself.
'Cause
Yeah.
obviously he was linked with Barcelona like everyone. He basically said you can go because it looked like he was going at one point, but it was like, well, they pay the money, which to be fair, he's a little magician. I think he's an amazing player. And I admire it. I hate it because I'm a Man United fan, but you got to admire it because they don't, apart from the charges that are overhanging them, you have to look at their run so well.
Yeah, that's when Pep will leave.
They've paid the
League
charges off.
Yeah.
They've paid it off to keep it
No, I
quiet.
don't know. There's a lot there.
I also think if they get found out, I just don't think anyone's going to care.
No, Noel Gallagher said it today. He's like, they said,
Okay.
he said to him, what happens is, don't tarnish it. At the end of the day, I've seen what's happened on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
It'll be something fans we say to other City
and
fans.
let's be honest, like Noel Gallagher said, he goes, you watch at the minute, there's a lot of loving for Newcastle. He goes, you wait until if they start winning titles, this thing will happen to Newcastle. Blah, look at the state, and it will happen because it's look at Man United when they were winning all the time. It's like, it will happen with.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's never happened with Liverpool because obviously
that's because
we're
you're
run
scum.
properly.
So coming to Arsenal, John, and we'll come back to Newcastle in a minute, Malcolm, to compare the stats like we did for United, did for City. So Arsenal obviously fantastic season. If you take the emotion out of it and you take the expectations, what come from it, it's been a fantastic season for Arsenal. Really, Arteta has done an amazing job.
I mean, even through pre-season, a lot of people say pre-season doesn't really matter. But we were turning over teams. I think we beat Sevilla like 6, 7, or 8-0 in the. I know it's the only the Emirates Cup.
Big cup that is.
Still won it. Then we.
It's the only thing you can win. That's why you have the Emirates Cup, so you can win it.
Dave, you're so bitter.
So mardy, isn't it? So anyway, back to football. And we obviously went out to America, turned over Chelsea like 4-0. Obviously, Chelsea have had a rubbish season, but no one knew they were going to be this bad.
No, not at all.
So it's like we really went into the season with a load of confidence, and then you find out you're playing away at Crystal Palace on the first day of the season on a Friday night on Sky. After what happened at Brentford, you're thinking, oh, it's deja vu again.
Yeah.
Is it? We're going to get turned over. Sky are going to love it. Neville and Carragher just rubbing their hands together, and we turned them over 2-0, and it was just the snowball just coming and rolling.
That made massive. I think they said that before. It made a massive difference that win, because it was the whole Brentford thing, and you thought, well, but I actually think that made a massive difference. I think friendlies does. Yes, it doesn't mean if you go and beat teams like 4-0, right, so we're going to smash it, but winning. Yeah. In friendlies, it does make a difference.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we've fallen off towards the end of the season. Obviously, injuries and stuff haven't helped, but it was just that one game a week. When we got knocked out of the Europa League, a lot of Arsenal fans were saying, "Oh, it's great, we can focus on this."
Yeah,
you know, one game a week, everyone could be fresh because you can't do too much running because you get tired if you're Liverpool.
Yeah.
So when it was one game a week, and we lost the game.
Played a lot more games than you have.
Not this season.
Not this season. Last season.
More.
Sorry?
Lost a lot more.
We have, yeah. We've lost hell of a lot of games this season. Beat you twice, though, didn't we?
But when we lost the game
Still
on a Saturday...
We're above you in the league, don't we?
Oh, no, yeah.
You two finished.
Yeah. Sorry, John, you carry on. Sorry.
Arsenal is shit.
Anyway, so when we lost on a Saturday, we had to wait a week for another game. And it was just like... I think the squad is so young. The mentality of them all like getting jitters and thinking, come on, let's try and get it. And it was all like kids in a candy shop when the first...
I think...
You need to get that...
Do you know what?
That,
I think
that dog in quicker.
You say that. Now, I think it's a bit different. Now, I've noticed when teams have either lost or something, I think teams want to play again. Like Ten Hag straight was like, I want to play again. And we've been quite lucky where we've played like on the Thursday and stuff, and he's like, no, I want to get this, obviously, because we've had some shocking results. He's like, no, I want to play. And I think like you might be right there, where you've had that longer period to get to the next game where you want to put it right. If there are inexperienced players, yes, I know we said about experience and all that stuff, but I think it does make a bit of a difference. Yes, you don't want to play 3 or 4 times a week, but game in to get it right, it makes a massive difference.
That day at the beach has really cheered you up, hasn't it?
I've been fucking driving all day today. Jesus Christ.
But no, Arsenal really sort of it's the last 8 games that's cost them effectively. I mean, it's a tough run. In the last 8 games, they had Liverpool, West Ham, and Southampton, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, and obviously Forest. Out of those last 8 games, 1, 2, drawn 3, and lost 3. That's ultimately where the fall off happened. But you know, look at last season. Finished 5th. Won 18, we've won 25 so far this season. You lost 13 last season, only 6 this season, and goal difference was 16 last year, and it's 40 this year. So there's been a massive uptick in performance.
Look at City, they to win the league, they've always won 26 games or more.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, as a chasing, you've got to be winning 26, 27
it's like
games.
It's like the 40 point rule to try and stay up. It's like the benchmark for trying to...
Well, you look how much Liverpool had to push them. When Liverpool were doing it, they had to like be on it.
City, 100 points to win the league. Yeah. You know, Liverpool 1 point behind. You know, that is just, you know, immense to do. And
I think Saliba getting injured was massive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that bloke's incredible. I was always worried because you bought him like a couple of seasons ago, didn't you? You bought him, and it was as if he was homesick and he was like sent away on loan. It was like, oh, he's probably not going to be anything. And then he literally was brought in, and it was like, wow, him and Gabriel together. I mean,
and both of them, I think.
Yeah, just
for the future and for now.
Isn't Gabriel got some, or potentially Gabriel's got some, allegedly some...
No, that's Partey.
Is it Partey?
Partey's a rapist. I mean, sorry, allegedly. Allegedly.
He's not a rapist.
Unnamed Arsenal player from Liverpool.
So I've put here as well, John, I'll be interested to have your views. So I put here, was it a collapse or was it a simple readjustment due to the fixtures? Did they collapse or was it did you just overperform at the beginning? What's your outside, honest, unemotional view of it?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a collapse.
I'd call it a comeback.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, It got to a point where we'd literally smashed it all season. Everyone was singing our praises. Nothing can go wrong. I think in the first 57 points we got 50. Do you know what I mean? Like, so at the start of the season we were flying. World Cup happened. Jesus gets injured, and everyone's like, okay, you're not going to perform after the World Cup. Started doing well, and all the praise kept on coming. Injuries hit us. I don't think they're fatigued because obviously the one game a week thing. So it could be psychological. Could have been everything that happened last season with Spurs. Probably doesn't help the situation.
The injuries part, sorry, John, to cut across you there, is an interesting part because I backed Arsenal in the end to win the league.
Silly.
There was one person on this pod that said, and took a lot of flack for it, that Arsenal didn't have the squad to carry them over the line.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Mr.
That was right, yeah.
He didn't believe it. If I didn't support Arsenal...
No, I still didn't believe that.
And you got hammered for this online on the shorts. I mean, I got hammered for saying Arteta was too emotional, and I thought that could cost him the league. And then you got hammered because you said you didn't have the squad. I mean, they hated you. I mean, they hated terribly.
Everyone hates me, but
that's true.
But
I'm going to say Pep won them the league. There's a difference in the manager. There's a winner and there's a bloke starting to become a winner. And Arteta, you can see in his eyes sometimes when he loses, he's defeated. When Pep gets a bad result, he's like, right, let's sort this shit out now. There's a difference. You can just see the cutthroat nature of him wanting to win. Where Arteta, it showed on the documentary the other season. When he lost that game to Newcastle and they lost out in Champions League, he lost his rag completely.
I mean, the thing is, Arteta, how long has he been the Arsenal manager?
4 years.
This is third season.
It's third season. I mean, and they're literally second in the
league. 2 full
league.
seasons, and he came in halfway through another one.
I think it's mad.
2019, wasn't it?
Pope, that's just dates. Not halfway through a season, isn't it?
But 2019.
All right, Dave,
2.5 seasons.
anyway,
2.5 seasons.
Anyway, as I was saying,
4 years.
in my opinion,
4 calendar years.
and I think, in my opinion, it just shows what we go
How
back
many
as.
tax years has he been there?
What's a tax year?
Sorry, Dave's looking a bit worried now. Taxman, what? But it just shows you, because there was that time when you had that little wobble, the signings didn't look that great, and they stuck with him. And look what's happened now. The signings seem to be a lot more sensible signings.
Yeah.
And a second in the league to one of the greatest ever teams we've seen in the Premiership.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying we bottled it.
You didn't bottle it.
But we, if we did bottle it, look at this Man City team. Look how many goals Haaland has scored.
Yeah.
I'd rather finish second to that team than some of the teams that have won the league.
Well, let's be honest. Look at Spurs when they lost to Leicester.
Exactly.
And it's not bottling it. There's 3 or 4 results that have let you down.
Yeah.
There's the West Ham result, the Southampton result, and the Forest result.
Because of him. But I think the Anfield one really hit us hard. If we managed to get it over the line,
the West Ham one as well, because the same situation.
After win it, so it's like
it was that West Ham and that Southampton one. I think you went 2-0 down to West Ham, didn't you? Pulled it back.
They went 2-0 up.
They lost 2-0 up.
That's right.
They went
Southampton wasn't the other way around. Went behind. So those were 2. That's where I thought you were going to carry it over the line, because I thought there you looked like you'd shown some bits where it had been, especially the Southampton game. You showed sort of come back the adversary. You fought to the end. And it just didn't quite happen. Lee, you've been quiet, so just to get your. I know you're a United fan, but as you said, they're not pulling. What's your views of Arsenal and what you feel of their season?
I think there's, just like I said, there's 3 or 4 games that they should have won where they dropped the points, and they just didn't have enough at the end to claw it back.
And Arteta, what's your view of Arteta?
He's done a great job. You can't say he's not done a great job.
No,
with the squad he's got as well.
Yeah,
dealing with the injuries he's had, they've done fantastic.
Barcelona next season, will he?
Well, I was coming to do it.
He's going to do a project.
He'll be there for a while.
Xavi's just won the league.
He'll do what Pep's done. He'll just stay until he achieves something.
I think he'll go to City.
I can see that happening.
I could see it. Well, I don't know. It depends it depends on how Company does at Burnley, because technically they could leave him at Burnley in the Premiership for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I think Pep will be all over him picking his predecessor.
Football manager over it.
There is a massive shortage of managers in the world. Like say if anything happened to any of one of our clubs, who do you get in? I mean,
none of them want to go to Spurs.
We discussed that a lot. It's just the merry-go-round of the same old shit.
There's a merry shortage because Roy Hodgson's at Crystal Palace, and I love Roy.
Big Sam's at Leeds.
Exactly. My girls are Crystal Palace fans. I love Roy, but the geezer's 91. Like he shouldn't. How can he still keep coming back? It's crazy.
And he's getting a 2-year deal for next season.
I mean, look, he's done a great job. But
they're talking about him staying next season.
Yeah.
But what's your view of Arteta? And what? Obviously, you're delighted. I'm assuming.
I think he's incredible. Like
Would you suck him off?
Fuck's sake,
Dave, Jesus
Only if he was Croatian and he could play inside, because apparently there's a stat.
No, I probably wouldn't suck him off, mate.
You thought about it though, didn't you?
Wouldn't. So
It's just a probably.
But never say never, right?
There's a question mark on the end.
yeah.
A little asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
No, I think he's done an amazing job. Like you say about the documentary on the Amazon thing, it opened a lot of people's eyes to the way he was off the field, because everyone thought he was going OTT on the sidelines. But when you're actually at the Emirates watching him, he's talking to every player. He kicks every ball. He actually is loving the game, and you see that a lot with Pep. So I do see a lot of Pep in Arteta.
Yeah.
He's still getting the Liverpool.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I really.
I reckon Arteta's still getting the Liverpool team at the moment.
It's the fucking
It's
arse.
the right age.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Jimmy Milner.
I can't fault him, and I can see him, like you say, being here for the next 6-7 years. He gets on great with the Kroenkes. You know, him and Edu have got a good relationship.
I'm glad. Obviously, not that it makes a massive difference, but it was good because at a time when obviously it looked like he was going to get the boot.
Yeah,
I said to an Arsenal fan, I said, I actually don't think Arteta should get the boot. I thought Edu was the one, seemed to be signed like WOULDN and these weird signings. I was like, I think it's the person behind him, but it seems like something's happened. Like there's more money getting a little bit spent, but it seems to be strategic. Like, right, we need a striker, so they go and get Jesus, and then they need Zinchenko, which is, I think, is a great signing. It seems to be a little bit more sensible.
But we were in the gutter when he took over. We were in the gutter when Emery left, and obviously when Wenger left, we were in the gutter. He came in and he had to get rid of a lot of players. I think people generally forget how many players he's actually got rid of, like Ozil, Mustafi.
I mean, look how he's dealt with them. I mean, everyone said same with. I'm going to say about Ten Hag again, but it's the same with getting like Ronaldo.
You're going to suck him off as well.
I would, if we won the league.
I probably would as well.
But at the end of the day, I think the way that they handled it, I mean, he had to get rid of Aubameyang. I mean, how he dealt with it. I mean, he had these young players. It was in such a weird way because you got these young players that we didn't know about all these good players he had playing there, and he goes and gets rid of Aubameyang and then Ozil that were on like 300 grand a week. It's just ridiculous.
No one would touch him, and this is what I say about the club being in such a state. I mean, I was going to the Emirates and watching all these crap players not putting a shift in, and when Arteta did come in, and we did have that really atrocious running. Like I think we lost like 12. I think the only team we did beat, no offense, was Man United at the Old Trafford, wasn't it?
Was that Ollie?
Aubameyang?
Was it?
Yeah, probably. I would imagine so.
I was in
Probably
charge.
Ralph.
But we were literally like shit. Like it was rubbish to watch. But he started bringing in some of the youth players like Saka, Smith Rowe, and then that's when you saw a massive change in the atmosphere of the club. You see Ozil sitting on the bench under a brolly. You see Aubameyang just sitting there sulking because he turned up late for a North London derby. Those sort of things, a manager needs to clamp down. And a lot of these managers nowadays don't.
No.
I think they're too scared because they don't upset the apple cart. This is where Pep comes in. And he's seen what Pep does with his players. In my
eyes, manager should be number one. Should be above any player.
And we mentioned it before. There has been a shortage of quality managers in it, and
I think they slowly come.
Well, I was going to say
it's coming back a little bit.
What I was going to say there is lack of quality managers. One that we have to talk about, topical as well, is Eddie Howe. How well he's done at Newcastle.
What a guy!
I would suck him off.
No
question.
You're asking, Dave.
Whatsoever.
What, even now, even though you haven't won the league, you still...
But no, in seriously,
coming from where we were last year,
I guess that's the
relegation. Absolutely dreadful. We spent a bit of money, not loads. There's teams that spent way more than us, and he's took us from down there, and I was only expecting top 10 this year. Good cup run, got to the final, which was even more of a shock, and I made a dozy of myself in the pub.
Yep. See on social media, you can watch that. Malcolm's after-match reaction.
Not good.
Put a link.
I wasn't expecting.
Link in the comments.
I was expecting like a good push for maybe Europa League or Conference, something like that. But to get Champions League football in his first season is.
I think the big thing as well, where he's improved players that you like, Joe Linton. I mean,
bloke's a machine.
Yeah, I mean.
But are they going to be good enough for the Champions League?
I think they will.
I don't know. I think the way that they're doing sensible signings as well, though.
But they need more signings.
Joe, the worrying thing is now they've got Champions League football. They can spend a little bit more than they already
can
could.
attract better players.
We need 5 or 6 good players to be able to do it.
And it won't be like ridiculous like this Neymar thing. No one is apart from Chelsea might.
Yeah. We don't want the players like
that.
No.
But we can do it because of the money in the backing. But I wouldn't be surprised if we finish like 6th next year and drop down a little bit because this year's been a surprise. But it's been an enjoyable surprise.
It'll be funny. You go and sign someone like James Maddison and these players.
Harry Kane.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Harry Kane, but
I'll take him.
Yeah,
put
but
him on
I
the
don't
bench
think
like
you'd
Shearer
buy him,
says
would
we
you?
can't break the record.
Yeah, that was brilliant. He said that.
But no, I don't think we need anyone like Kane. I think the strikers are all right. I think it's the midfield for us and maybe a couple more defenders.
This manager's a season for me.
He's done a fantastic job. And
Even
But you got to look at the
No,
other side.
because Pep's got more. No, I think
But it's
Pep's-
not as good as
I just think what he's done.
Liverpool have fallen off. Chelsea have fallen off.
Have they fallen off, or have we gotten up to our level to push them down? There's a difference there.
Of course they've fallen off. Chelsea 12th or something.
Yeah, but it's not that.
Chelsea's an anomaly.
We've come out and we've been
But they're
better than them.
top 4, aren't they?
Yeah,
So are Liverpool. So there's 2 sides that they've jumped above.
Yeah,
And I think that's what feeds
Spurs.
into. That's why you're saying next season you could see.
Yeah. It's like I say, I don't
being
expect
realistic,
us to
innit?
be Champions League next
Yeah.
year. I didn't expect it this year. I'll be
But
honest. Like,
doesn't the Champions League go up to 5 teams next year?
Yeah.
It should be because of the
Potentially.
qualification, because of how well
Man City
we've
can win
performed,
it, and
doesn't
the
it?
top 4 will still be top 4.
Yeah.
So really, whoever comes second wins the league. So Arsenal this year won the league.
No.
That's it.
Right, okay, I'm just saying.
You heard it here first.
I'll tell you what, there's some angles. That's even more outrageous than his Croatia stat. That is. But no, if you think about, we were talking Malcolm before, just off air. We were talking about obviously Newcastle originally tried to go for Unai Emery, which is I think Unai Emery is a great manager. I know he didn't quite do it at Arsenal, but I think he showed it. Maybe didn't get enough time.
I don't
maybe
think any manager would they?
He's gone to Villa and done. Yeah, it's the poison chalice, isn't it? It's a bit like Moyes after Fergie. It's a bit like that after Wenger. When someone's been there, it'll be like whoever gets the next City job after Pep. Like they're gonna fail. They're not gonna do as good as Pep. They're always gonna be compared. They're probably gonna be there for 10 months before they get sacked. Someone else comes in.
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter is exactly. But like I say, Eddie Howe has done so good without creating a circus around this money and everything else like that. They've just steadily gone about their business, and I mean,
I just love how calm he is. They ask him questions that he doesn't want to answer, so he batters them ones off. Then they ask him the other question, and he will answer them honestly. But with me, it's getting the fans back on board. There's so many crap years of Ashley, like proper crap. Like every year, 17th, fantastic. 17th, fantastic. And then last games of the season, just hoping that, say, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United do us a favour against Burnley. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's also, even when you lose a game this season, you don't even think you've lost. It's like you're not like buzzing, but it's like because you've been playing awesome. Man City have been played well. Arsenal have been pretty awesome to see. But Newcastle games, you watch. I'm not being funny now. I mean, Newcastle games, most of them are always high scoring, and you watch and you think, I'm going to watch Newcastle because you know it's going to be a good game.
But the Bulls not in play much with Newcastle though.
Oh, come on,
Don't
Dave. Don't be bitter.
To win the game, don't we?
Come on,
we're playing
Dave.
60 minutes and still winning more than Liverpool.
But I just think they're really good. Newcastle have always been pretty good to watch years ago, but I just think they're really good. I mean, it's impressive what they've done, and I think it's right in what you're saying. Is next season everyone's got to be realistic. There is going to be other teams perform better. Well, you hope so, but. At the end of the day, if you do get 6, it's going to be
impressive. With certain teams not in the Champions League, like Chelsea, Liverpool, are they going to have that money to rebuild their squad again? Because obviously Chelsea are going to have to sell a hell of a lot of players to buy anybody, aren't they?
100%. Yeah.
They've got to pay 300 million. They got.
Well, he was banking on spending all this money and the 8-year contracts.
Yeah.
On Champions League, didn't he?
Will they have enough money now to redo their squad? Because at the moment they look a shambles.
Rumour has it that he wasn't aware that they weren't in the Champions League every year.
Yeah, he thought it was American.
he honestly thought he went into a board meeting. Yeah, Bowley went into a board meeting.
He thought it was like American football, like you guaranteed every year to play.
See, this is crazy shit. You thought when I said about James Corden recommending Frank Lampard, you thought I was talking shit. That is true, isn't it?
Yeah, he had to leave the boardroom meeting and check with his advisors, and they said, "Yeah, you've got to be top 4 to get in the Champions League." And he had to come in with
Jesus.
tail between his legs.
How much this guy spent? 500 million.
Yeah.
660, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
Wow.
660, yeah.
It's like they must be laughing about that Mudryk Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh, we won't have him. We have Trossard, and he's gone there, and he looks.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he can play football.
Apart from the first game, he looked electric.
Yeah.
When he came against
It was
Liverpool,
rapid.
he looked
I was
really
like,
good.
oh my God,
Yeah.
he looks fantastic.
But now-
Now he looks
since
like
then-
Kev playing football.
He looked around with a young man and went, oh, fuck.
Oh, well, I didn't realise that. I mean, that's shocking if that's the case. No wonder Woody didn't turn up.
Yeah.
Look at
Good
that.
luck, Woody, by the way, in the final.
Yeah, he's got a cup final today.
Yeah, it's the junior team. I don't know
Junior
what age.
team.
Yeah,
He's fucking 41
plays with
years
kids.
old.
No, he doesn't play.
No wonder he's in
He's
the
a
cup
manager.
final. Yeah, no, honestly, mate, he's 7.
Yeah, Woody looks about 7.
Yeah, so I mean, like I say Newcastle have done fantastic. Eddie Howers has
7-0.
7-0. 7-0.
I didn't bring that up.
No, not yet. I'm sure
That'd be
you're
a fucking first.
I'm sure you're waiting.
You get a trophy for that, don't you, Dave?
No, I don't need a trophy for that.
DVD.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
Do you know the worst thing about that game? We've talked about this before. I was in the pub watching it with Dave. I mean,
That's the first time we watched football
it's the
together.
worst time we watched football together.
Thankfully, I couldn't make
Yeah,
it.
you couldn't make it. Right, just to go off piece a little bit now. I've got some questions for you. This is a Premier League only. I want to get your or to see if you know who is currently leading these stats. Okay, in the Premier League, some interesting ones.
Yeah.
Okay, number one's a Premier League only. Who's the top scorer so far? Malcolm, start with you.
Ireland.
Kev.
Ireland.
Lee.
John Stones.
Pope. Obviously,
Jordan Henderson.
John Henson.
Do we win something? Or?
Well, we'll see who gets the most right, and then
Haaland.
You can have a cup of tea.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So Haaland is top, obviously scorer at the moment. Who's got the most assists in the Premier League currently?
De Bruyne.
Østergaard.
Odegaard. What do you mean?
That's the one. Yeah.
Odegaard.
Yeah, De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
I'll go De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Saka's second, isn't he?
I'm going to say De Bruyne.
De
But
Bruyne. Yeah, it is De Bruyne.
And Saka's second, isn't he?
Don't know.
Odegaard can't be far behind him, though, can
Can't
he?
be that far.
Don't know.
No,
I didn't
I think-
Okay,
Anyway,
this one will be interesting to see if anyone knows this. Be interesting. Who's completed the most passes? Most complete
It's the
passes.
defender for Man City, I believe.
Akanji.
It could be, or was it Diaz?
Don't know.
Diaz hasn't played a lot. I reckon Akanji's played
Yeah.
more.
Just going to say Kanji. What? Yeah, I'd say Kanji.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say Diaz, just on the
Diaz.
John?
Everyone's saying a Kanji. Someone will say Kanji.
Akanji, yeah.
Akanji. Lewis Dunk.
Oh,
Getting England call up, innit?
Absolutely.
Next
Lewis
season.
Dunk's the most
Oh.
thing. Who's had the most shots?
Harry Kane.
I need to look this up because
Jesus.
Oh, that's a good one, Harry Kane.
It's got to be Haaland, is it? Surely
Is
he's
it
got
on
most goals.
target or
yeah, I guess it's on
Attempt.
target.
or
gotta be
most,
Haaland
most
then,
shots
isn't it?
in the stand? Because that'd be Nunes.
Don't know.
Shots.
All right, let's say Salah.
Salah.
I'm going to go with... Going back... Ask the others.
Others.
I've really got to think.
Harry Kane.
Okay.
Kane.
Kane.
Buck knows.
Back nose. Who's he
Who's he play for?
Yeah. Left back.
Buck knows. I was just trying to think.
I'm going to go for...
John Barnes.
All right, let's be a misery. It's Harry Kane. Most offsides. John, start with you.
Grealish.
Hello, John. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Lee. John.
Broke hands.
Let's go. Who's rubbish forward?
Jesus.
He's been injured most of the season.
Nikita.
No, stop it. Okay, let's go.
Nelson.
Who's offside quite a lot? Kane.
Kane.
Salah.
I'm
Salah.
going to change mine to Rashford.
Rashford.
I'd go Kane because he does.
Kane.
Offside.
Song.
It's Jamie Vardy.
He played
no,
enough.
he's
Don't play any
He
games.
played 3 games, didn't he?
Most offsides. Most offsides.
Fucking
Okay.
hell.
Most errors leading to goals.
Oh,
That's
good.
most likely to be a goal.
David De Gea.
Yeah, it's got to be De Gea.
De Gea.
No. Ramsdale.
Pickford.
Pickford.
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
It's got to be De Gea, isn't it? Oh,
De
but then
Gea.
that's Premiership though. It's only Premiership.
Only Premiership.
Ah.
Hugo Lloris.
Oh, yeah. forgot about it.
Yeah, think
But
about that, clown.
Ramsdale's had 6 goals.
In the Premiership,
errors
though?
leading to goals. Did you
Is
know
that in Premiership though?
Is that just
Yeah,
the Premier
that's in
League?
Premiership.
Are you sure? Do you name
top
them?
5.
Do you name them? Or
No,
just-
but my stat says it.
Okay.
Don't mess with the stats.
And last but not least, just because we'll wrap up this section, most interceptions.
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Fabian Schär.
Fabian Schär.
Yeah, Casemiro's a shout.
Casemiro.
Yeah, hardly plays. He's always
I'm
bad.
going to go for.
Why?
This is interaction with
fucking
man.
feet.
On the sideline, I
Partey.
got it.
Thomas Partey.
Don't know his name. The Fulham midfielder.
Oh, the one that everyone wants.
Yep.
I know who you mean. I can't think of his name right now.
Paulinho or something.
Yeah.
Paulinho.
Paulinho, yeah.
Declan Rice.
Arsenal player.
Arsenal player.
But will Arsenal pay his wage? Oh,
Interesting. Any surprises? That's Lewis Dunk was an amazing, amazing one. Most
Played well,
passes
didn't he?
completed. Lewis Dunk.
Oh, was
I
it
don't-
most passes? I thought it was most shots on target.
So obviously we talked about Arsenal. We talked about the thing. Obviously, there's still the relegation battle still underway. One that was secured to be safe is Nottingham Forest secured safety the other day.
how do they do that? Who do they beat to do that?
I can't remember. London side.
Some small
Playing red,
North
didn't they?
Yeah, playing red.
Any ideas, John?
They always
I was out.
bottle it.
I was out.
Bottle it at the end.
Title dodgers.
So-
yeah.
Title dodgers.
Have you seen that? You've
Whoa,
obviously seen it. You've
Wait. Title dodgers.
Yeah,
We've won the Premier League 3 times.
And City
That's
won
true.
it 3 times.
And how many times have Liverpool won it?
As many as
Once.
Leicester.
And we're Leicester now. Okay,
We can only hope, can
in
we?
a couple of
Next
years,
season.
Next
Next
season.
season.
Yeah.
Dave's
I'm
busy.
tired. They're
As
still
long, as
tired.
long as we beat you 7-0 again, I'm happy.
That's it.
What,
That's
and get
it.
relegated?
Don't
Yeah.
forget,
Yeah.
Dave said.
You're
You're fucking
stupid.
easily pleased.
Dave said, I don't care about results, it's performances. If we lose every week, it don't matter as long as they've played well.
Yeah,
Which is the
100%.
most stupid.
They have a good experience on
Yeah.
the pitch.
Yeah, that's it. That'll be great.
As long as everyone has
Because if we play well, we will beat most
Is it the
teams.
taking part that counts?
It is this season, yeah.
Well done, boys. Well done.
That's how mentally broken he was this
Dave
season.
wasn't very good at
Liverpool
anything at
was
school. It's taking part that counts, Dave.
Yeah,
Are you
definitely.
going to do the whole,
Made along
like the
the way.
American schooling? We don't do scores anymore. We just play to just have fun.
Participation. I say that's how broken he was mentally. He went from last year, we're going to do everything to go.
Yeah, but
no,
it's-
like,
but-
just as long as we play well is all that matters.
We haven't done the podcast this year because Liverpool were doing shit. Well,
Yeah, but we knew you before that.
and you didn't want to speak to me about football, did you?
I mean,
That's
to be
true.
fair, you guys didn't invite me on until we'd actually lost the league, so thanks.
No, that was Dave.
That was Dave's fault.
Oh, no,
That's all right. They
we've had-
invited me on when we got Champions League football, so I'm happy.
Oh, I'm just glad we've all got Champions League football.
That's it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, you haven't got it yet, have you?
Well, that's, no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
true actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't necessarily. Well, we'll get
Only
1 point.
Chelsea.
Soon.
Come on, Chelsea.
So we want to talk about obviously
You want
Forest.
to put a fucking shift in a beat.
Yeah, that could happen as well. But Liverpool got to win their last game as well. So.
Southampton.
We got 2
No,
games.
no.
Yeah, you got
We
2.
got 2 games. Yeah.
Who's your last game against?
Somebody.
They don't know.
West Ham. I think it's West Ham.
Not West Ham.
Is it West Ham?
No, it's not West Ham. West Ham are
It's,
playing.
don't know. I can't remember.
I tell you, it's funny, and he goes, "Who you playing? West Ham? No, it ain't. Well, tell them then."
So I know West Ham are
They're
playing
in the
against-
relegation.
They're playing
Everton.
Everton, yes.
Yeah.
They're playing Everton. I don't know. What I want to talk about was
Nottingham Forest.
Steve Cooper. What I want to say about them, I thought was fantastic, was the way that the Forest board quashed any chance of rumours sacking early. They
They
came
did
out.
straight away, didn't they?
Didn't they offer him a new contract?
Yeah, gave
Yeah,
us a new
okay.
contract.
Yeah.
Like a 5-year deal.
But do you know the
Yeah.
good thing is, like you say, when it started to circulate, like TalkSport and Sky Sports started to do it, literally that morning he was like, no, and he rung TalkSport one time and said, no, it's not happening. Like, I'm not
But
even
how
going
was
there.
that? Because that settled everybody in
Yeah.
Forest. Like that killed all the sacking rumours,
Yeah.
all this, that. Everyone. So I think props have got to be given
Yeah.
to Forest for what they've done.
Because
to
he
come out
even
that
said,
early.
didn't he? He got asked after the game and he said, I didn't really need it because I know how much they support me, but I appreciate it. I think it's good. It comes back to just sometimes, I mean, after these managers, these temp caretaker managers, I mean, how many of them have it worked? And just,
Roy.
Give them time, haven't you?
yeah.
That's the way the club going.
I mean, look at
We're
Arsenal.
in the
Arsenal could have
Premier League.
sacked Arteta at that time, and you would have thought, yeah, well, maybe he had his chance.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, yeah, it's fine. But,
But that's the thing. I know everyone's singing Roy's praises, but Vieira did have really hard games leading
Yeah.
up to his sacking, and then it was
Yeah.
like he had loads of on paper easier games,
yeah.
and then they sacked him. So it's like
It
you don't
seems
really know
stupid,
how.
yeah.
you know,
But was it the hard games, but the way they were playing, and they didn't have a shot for like 4 or 5 games, did they? On target.
Yeah, that was the issue.
I think that was the main issue, not the hard games.
I think the players prefer playing under Roy than they do Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Pope.
he did well to start off.
But to be fair, they really enjoyed the game, Pope, and it was a friendly
exactly.
game. I mean, everyone was
having a good time.
Not everyone's like me.
Fuck for that.
Obviously, Forest at the beginning of the season got slated. They spent 150 million. They brought in 21 players, which is a Premier League record, which will definitely be beaten by Chelsea at some point. And it's part of the transfer window last season was the record. I think it was 2.1 billion pounds was spent in the transfer windows last season.
A lot of money.
But I mean, signed 21 players. But would you say it's justified now that they've stayed up?
100%.
Yeah.
Have they fucking used them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have they used them all?
Not Lingard.
Pretty much.
Not Lingard, no.
Yeah, that was a silly one, but
No, they've played him a couple of times. He's just been awful.
Nice.
Yeah,
He should
absolutely.
have gone to West Ham, really. That was
That was stupid on his, but he was just trying to get more wages, wasn't he?
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Forest offered him more than
Yeah.
West Ham. And he was
It's
like, yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
United refused him to go to West Ham, anyway.
No, that was on
That
loan.
was on loan.
Yeah.
They refused him to Newcastle as well.
Yeah.
We could have had him the other season. They refused him to us as well. So
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's good. I think, to be fair, considering what he's done, I think it's good.
Played good football as well.
Yeah.
They're good to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they should be given props
Passionate
for.
fans as well.
Yeah, given props for what they've done to come out that early.
Future England manager?
no.
Who,
Yeah.
me?
Steve Cooper.
Christ,
No.
a bit early
Well,
for
he's
that.
an but he's an FA man, so you have to always think that.
he's a
Yeah,
strange
but-
looking fella, though.
Are we talking?
Yeah, but that's
You
not
got
really.
Eddie Howe in front of him, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Sam.
Everywhere.
Big Sam will make a big
and plus
comeback.
he's,
No, he
and
screwed.
plus he's just signed a 5-year contract. We're just saying
Yeah.
what a great deal that was. He's like, I'm off to England. See you later, boys.
Yeah.
Graham
Yeah,
Potter, manager.
maybe I can't. I don't know. Who knows? I can't imagine them sticking with an English person. We'll go through the foreign.
Do you reckon?
You'd imagine Pep.
See, I don't think Pep would be any
goes
good.
to
Would they
England.
sweet talk him?
No, because you can't ping on Haaland.
But the thing is with Pep, he needs, England haven't got the nucleus of players. He needs to be able to pick what he
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
buy
I
what
don't,
he
I don't
wants.
think Pep's an international manager.
No.
He needs
I can see him doing that at the end, but
I think he needs regular.
and he needs to be able to mould and bring players in and be able to pick who he
And
wants.
it's not going to happen, is it? If
Yeah.
you don't get time as an international manager, to do
No.
that.
Do you watch Nottingham Forest will start off bad and get rid of Cooper after about 2
Just-
weeks? That'll be the worst thing.
Interesting thing. I just don't want to get too much time on this, but just quick fire. England manager Gareth Southgate gets sacked today. Who would you want to see come in? Malcolm, start with you.
I don't want him to go, but Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe.
I'd probably say Eddie Howe, to be fair.
Yeah, Eddie Howe.
Graham Potter.
Yeah, fucking idiot. John.
Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
I think Potter would be a good England manager, but I think Eddie Howe's better choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Harry Potter. Harry Potter. I feel a bit sorry.
Score is
I feel a bit sorry for Harry Potter. There was a lot of pressure on him when he was, going through Valdemar or whatever it was. Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Graham Potter. He's less successful. Harry's less successful younger brother. It's
Less successful, Harry.
Do you not think, though, Potter will be back in the
Graham's less
summer?
successful younger brother.
Should go somewhere.
Potter will be back in the summer, wouldn't he? I'll get a job. Even if he goes to
suppose.
the Championship.
No,
or
they
something.
reckon Leicester are after him.
I think
Yeah.
he's a good
Yeah.
manager. I
They
think
reckon they want him to bring him
it's-
back up
yeah.
because I can't see them staying.
Lampard
Well,
will,
that
Lampard
feeds
will be
in
back
nicely,
at
Malcolm. So much
Liverpool.
like that. Obviously, we're going to talk about who's left for the drop. Obviously, there's 3 teams that could. There's 2 of the 3 that could go down. There's Everton, who's on 33 points. They've got Bournemouth next in the last game of the season. You've got Leicester, 31 points. They've got West Ham next, and then you've got Leeds, who's got Spurs, who are currently 8th. After that, so 2 of the 3 are going to go down. Dave, who is going to go down? Let's
Not
start
who
with
you want, Dave.
Everton and Leeds.
Everton
West Ham
Leeds.
aren't going to put a big team out.
They got the cup final,
Yeah.
haven't they?
Okay,
And-
interesting.
And Leicester, the last 5 minutes against Newcastle, they play like that, they'll beat West Ham.
But they won't.
I've
Yeah, they won't.
almost,
They need to, though, don't they?
I
Yeah.
almost thought he made a stupid decision not to play Maddison
No.
and Barnes, but it looked like it worked, but maybe a little bit too late because
I
they.
can't see Bournemouth putting up much of a fight against Everton
No,
because
I
they're
don't.
safe and
No,
it's
I
like
don't.
a Sunday
Yeah.
day out, relax around,
But I also can't see Spurs putting up much against Leeds because
but
Spurs
Leeds-
are shit.
But so
And it's
are
just
Leeds.
Harry Kane on his own, isn't it?
Yeah.
So are Leeds.
Yeah, the only team,
Leeds
the
are
only team out of
dreadful.
those 3 I can see winning Leeds.
I
Leeds
can't-
beating Spurs.
I
Yeah.
can't even
The
believe
other
that. Leeds
two
are
I just
dreadful.
think they're going to win.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
year, Big Sam came in going,
Yeah, but
I'm
this is
better
Big
than
Sam.
this, I'm better than that,
They've
I'm
all
better
got
than the other.
fucking nil-nils written
And then-
all over.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like against us, they drew to all, and he's going, should have beat Newcastle. I'm thinking, where? Because
Anyone
you
see
had
him
a
pick?
deflected goal and you
see him-
started well, and then against West Ham they absolutely ripped
Did you see him pick
apart.
up the £5 note to give it to the referee?
Yeah.
Might as well
Who
keep
dropped
it.
that fiver?
I don't know, it was awesome.
So, Marco, you said, who did you say, Dave? Sorry, you bored me.
Everton and Leeds go down.
Everton and Leeds go down. John?
Leeds are staying up, so the other two down.
So you're Everton and Leicester down. Malcolm?
I think stay as it is.
So Leeds and Leicester go?
Yep.
Leeds and Leicester. Yeah,
Leeds and
Everton
Leicester.
stay
I
up.
think Leeds need to after what they've done.
I don't know. They could all go down. I haven't really.
Well, that's really good. Yeah,
No
that's
shit,
true,
Sherlock.
mate. Fuck you know.
I
Brains behind the
I
operation.
think get a new host that answers the fucking
I think
question.
I would like to see Everton stay up. I think I like Sean Dyche. I think
Just to piss Dave off, really.
Just piss Dave off, yeah. Just
The
because.
question wasn't who would you like to stay up, Kev?
I'd love
Who do
to
I
see
think?
Everton go down just
dunno.
to see that new stadium in the Championship
know.
because I think that
But
would be funny.
I have heard that over the last 10 seasons, apparently, if you haven't got a Lithuanian player in there, then they've been relegated. So it's
Operation.
no. I think I don't know. I would say Leicester are going to stay up. Everton and Leeds are going to go.
It would make a
that's different.
mockery if Everton do go down that stadium in the Championship. Bearing in mind Luton are about to go up with...
Yeah. Going through
6,000.
someone's garden.
That away
That's brilliant.
entrance is incredible in all the
Apparently,
houses.
They've got to spend millions of pounds
Yeah.
just to make it Premier League.
Yeah.
status.
Yeah, I'd
It
imagine.
doesn't
Do you
fit
reckon they
with
could
it.
ever use the MK Don Stadium because they don't really fill it up there?
But they don't get on.
But they
get on,
won't.
do they?
No, who Luton fans won't go there?
No, they don't get on, do they?
I just think it's a quick.
But would
fix.
they want to go there if they thought it wasn't going to get in the Premier League? Because if they don't get the league up to standard, they won't be allowed into the
that's
league.
it. Well, they should do because
They've got MK Dons or Leighton Town, haven't they? So they've got one or the other, haven't they?
and they will fill MK Don Stadium.
Oh, they would,
because
yeah,
they've already
absolutely.
they've already taken their allocation, haven't they? Within like
Yeah.
4 or 5
Have
hours.
you seen
Wembley.
that? Talk about
Yeah, but
allocation.
how many are going that don't go every fucking week?
Have you?
Yeah, but
of course, yeah.
But people because they can't.
Have you?
There's only a 10,000 seater stadium.
true, yeah.
Have you seen
How
the
can 30,000 people going?
for West Ham? You know, for the final, they've got like 5,000 fans.
Yeah.
Allocate-
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think the stadium only holds like 22,000.
Yeah.
It's
doesn't it?
mad.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it is bad, but
Yeah.
But because it's the
Yeah.
Conference League, it's not going to be played at a
it don't
big
matter. It's a final. It's a European final. It should.
for small teams.
Where-
Well, everyone
is-
fucking
where is-
fighting afterwards.
where is
that's
the
why.
final? What country do we know?
It's
Italy? Is it Italy? No.
Prague? What do I want to say, Prague?
No,
It's
To be fair,
What one's in
dunno.
Turkey?
We're
That's Champions League. That's
to be fair,
Yeah.
Liverpool's visiting next year. And
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll tell us then. So
we're not in the Conference League.
No, it's a
Not
Europa
yet.
League stadium. They've gone up.
So just to wrap up the thing, I just wanted to get your last thoughts, just to close it off. Was this the most exciting Premier League so far? No?
It's weird.
Surprises and stuff?
It's weird.
I'm not
like-
sure if exciting's the word. I think strange and random probably fits better.
I didn't like the World Cup in the middle of the season. I hated that.
Yeah.
But some of the results is just incredible.
I think
mean,
it's better for the league.
we,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that what we said, like Everton beating Brighton, like was it 5-1? I want to say a couple of weeks ago.
Let's drop it in there. Liverpool 7-0. against
Liverpool
United.
7-0, but then that 7-0.
Again,
The small teams winning a few, you know.
Yeah, but that helped Man
United,
United. Who did Southampton beat? I mean, look at the teams that Southampton
Yeah.
beat, and then they went and go and knocked
Didn't
Man City.
Southampton beat like City twice? Or
They
something?
Yeah,
beat
knocked
City in
City out of the
Carabao
cup.
Yeah,
Cup,
crazy.
didn't they?
It's just-
the cup, didn't they? Yeah.
Didn't Liverpool
They
win
beat-
like 9-0?
Yeah, against Bournemouth. Yeah.
yeah, some big.
We've scored a lot of goals in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
games. And
How's
Like
that do?
our first half
It's
against
been
Tottenham.
fuck all, but you scored loads of goals.
yeah, but I've always
Had a
said
good time.
I'd rather only win the game 1-0.
But it's fine.
And then
Sort of
lower
they
goals
played
going
well, so it's
Sort of
all
about
right.
taking
It was
it.
really enjoyable to watch. so it's all right.
Quick,
Shut
just
up.
again, quick fire thoughts. Why do we think so many big teams have struggled this season? When I say big, obviously Liverpool's not had a great season.
Chelsea spent too much
Chelsea, United have been okay, but even still not been thinking. Why do we think that contribution to that would
There's a lot
be?
of teams going through changes, isn't there? Managers.
Transition.
That's the word I was looking for.
Transitional
Liverpool
changes at the
just
clubs.
Klopp's
We've been going through transition
top 7
every year.
fucking spell, whatever it was.
It was 7-year itch. Yeah.
Well, I don't think the so-called big six clubs are that far away. Obviously now, like Newcastle and Newcastle playing
Yeah.
great. I think Man United only need like a couple of players. Like you definitely need a forward,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but your
Another
defense
defender.
your defense is pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think at Old Trafford you've only let in like 9 goals all
Yeah,
season.
Same
Like,
with
so
Phil
it is-
All
Jones,
down to the higher, yeah.
Same
But like-
Phil Jones
so
is
I
off,
don't
though.
think-
You need to keep him.
Yeah.
He's a stonewall.
Do you know what though? Phil Jones,
going,
what I like
isn't
about
I
him is
actually
just
think
like,
it's quite sad
Yeah.
when you see him. When you see him like that he's gone, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, you had a great career." Well, you had all right, but it's just weird that he's not even been playing for us. Like that's what I find, and I actually think he'll just retire.
They're not giving him a testimonial.
No,
no, they offered him.
Yeah,
He didn't
but
want it.
And again, that's self-aware. They offered him a testimony. He said no because only my mum and dad will turn up.
but it's
I
weird.
don't know.
What is
If
it?
it's free, Pope will go.
yeah, it's free. I'll have a look, yeah. Why not?
They play him red, it'd be enough, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I put here, will City win again next season?
Yep.
Yeah,
Nailed on. Can Arsenal challenge?
I wouldn't say nailed on, but I would make them favourites.
It's
Yeah,
going to be very interesting next season to see what changes are made in the summer.
I think United will
What?
challenge, Arsenal will challenge, and
Well-
Liverpool back.
A lot's going to depend on what happens in the summer.
Yeah. So I've put here, can Arsenal challenge? Will Liverpool be back?
I hope so.
I don't think Spurs will.
Will United continue improvement? Can Newcastle build on this season?
I think we can.
And will
I
Chelsea
think
be
you
as
will, yeah.
woeful?
No, I don't think Chelsea will be as bad.
I think massive summer.
I think it
Chelsea.
depends on who they bring in and who they can actually get rid of. Because who's going to want to buy the likes of Conor Gallagher for 50 million when you know they need the money?
Yeah.
You're going to go. Here's
I mean,
50.
I think
No.
that's what I'll tell
give you
you.
20.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
say
what I
with
mean.
Chelsea will be when I said it. I think it was last week when they said about Pochettino. I think you'll see what players they actually get, because if you start seeing just more midfielders coming in, you think, it's if you see that. I know they've got the striker in Cuckoo.
Fucking buying it.
No, but that's the thing. It's if you see that he's gone as like a centre back, because they probably need a centre back, because I think and a few of them going.
Thiago Silva.
That's where I think. I think if you see specific players in certain positions, that's where I think actually they're just going to carry on doing their stupid.
I mean, they've still got Aubameyang to get rid of.
Yeah.
I mean, and Konku's coming in.
Do you know that
Carter's coming back.
Do you know
You
the
look
midfielder? The midfielder that is on loan in at AC Milan or someone. But is it Bakayoko?
Yeah.
He's still on
He's-
loan. He's
yeah,
still
still Chelsea
He's
player,
still
yeah.
at Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there like 12 years.
I mean, their players are already getting changed in the corridors, aren't they, currently?
Yeah.
And they're going to have like an influx of players.
Yeah, I think
They're
Thiago
like, what the hell's
Silva
going
said
on?
there is so many people,
Yeah.
so many players in the training room. There's not enough room.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like their captain.
This
as
again,
such,
though,
isn't it?
where do you sell these players to?
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
going to be willing to pay big money
Yeah.
for them when they know they're so
United
desperate?
probably. We've
probably.
got a history of overpaying for
Todd
players.
Bowley will
isn't it?
probably try and buy him.
Yeah, now's not a time for overpaying them.
Lukaku's coming
no,
back
but
to
They'll try and
United.
get
You
one.
watch.
They'll probably try and get him on a steal. wouldn't they?
Everyone needs to play hardball with Chelsea and then see what happens.
Absolutely.
And
They're gonna
Absolutely.
be
That's what I think Liverpool will do with Mason Mount. Right, if he doesn't keep signing his contract, Liverpool go, "We'll give you 40 mil," and they'll be like, "He's worth more." Well, if you want to
Take
get rid
it.
of
Yeah,
him,
yeah, take
that's
it.
what I think. I think a lot of clubs will do that with the Chelsea players like
You say
Ziyech,
people.
Cleeple, can't speak.
Right, gentlemen, I think that's wraps it all up. Obviously, we'll do one more pod next week when we round up obviously the season will be ended then. Then we'll discuss whether we're going to carry on chatting shit through the closed season or not. Malcolm, thank you for joining us. John, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again
you,
soon.
chaps.
Apologies for Dave.
It's definitely better having some other fans' views in here as well. We're a little bit United heavy.
Yeah,
so
it's not
appreciate you
nice to
coming
have
on.
other fans.
No, it is. It is better for
Let's be
people
honest,
listening.
though, we're all better than Liverpool, so it doesn't matter.
That's it. That's right. Right, so again, thank you as
nice having
always.
people that know what
they're talking about.
Please like, comment, share, tell your nan, and we'll catch you again next week.